Caleb Turner gave the HOA one simple warning months earlier: stay off his farmland and stop crossing private property illegally. But the HOA ignored every warning completely, and now the entire county was about to witness the consequences. Caleb's ranch sat beside one of the fastest-growing HOA developments in the region. Developers constantly push against the ranch boundaries for expansion projects. The HOA believed the old farmer would eventually surrender quietly, but Caleb protected his land like family. For decades, the Turner family farm stretched across thousands of acres. The property included valuable water access routes and utility easements. As suburban developments expanded, the ranch became extremely valuable, and greedy investors started paying close attention. At a public meeting, Caleb warned the HOA leadership directly. He told them construction crews were crossing onto private farmland illegally. Patricia Wells laughed and claimed the ranch boundaries were outdated. That mistake would eventually destroy her authority completely. Weeks later, HOA contractors began cutting through sections of Caleb's fencing. Heavy equipment crossed onto farmland without legal permission. Workers ignored warning signs posted around the property lines. Caleb quietly documented every violation carefully. Security cameras captured every illegal entry onto the farm. Caleb saved footage of trucks, bulldozers, and survey teams crossing fences daily. His attorney advised him to remain patient for the moment, because the HOA was digging itself deeper into legal trouble. Meanwhile, Patricia proudly announced another HOA expansion phase publicly. She promised new roads, luxury homes, and rising property values. Residents applauded the aggressive development plans confidently. Nobody realized those projects crossed private ranch land illegally. Then Caleb's legal team uncovered something shocking in county records. Several HOA infrastructure projects depended entirely on ranch easements. Without Caleb's permission, major utilities could face legal shutdowns. The HOA leadership had never checked the original filings properly. Despite repeated warnings, contractors continued digging across the property. New utility trenches cut directly through active farmland sections. Caleb finally decided the HOA had crossed the line permanently, and he prepared his response carefully. One morning, HOA officers arrived demanding access through the ranch again. But this time, Caleb refused to move aside quietly. County deputies soon arrived after emergency calls flooded dispatch, and the confrontation instantly became county-wide news. The emergency HOA meeting became chaotic almost immediately. Residents demanded answers after hearing about the ranch confrontation. Patricia insisted Caleb was exaggerating the property dispute, but several board members were starting to panic privately. Back at the ranch, Caleb met with his legal team quietly. They reviewed years of easement agreements and utility contracts carefully. The attorneys discovered the HOA depended on ranch land far more than expected, and the legal leverage was enormous. The next morning, Caleb officially filed complaints against the HOA. News stations quickly arrived outside the courthouse entrance. The farm dispute exploded across local television within hours. Residents suddenly feared a major scandal was unfolding. During the first hearing, Caleb presented security footage publicly. The videos clearly showed repeated trespassing across private farmland. Even county officials looked disturbed by the evidence. Patricia's confidence started fading immediately. Within hours, county officials halted multiple HOA construction projects. Developers lost millions. Every day the work remained frozen. Investors demanded immediate explanations from the HOA board. Pressure inside the community exploded rapidly. That evening, Caleb remembered working beside his father years earlier. His father always warned him that developers would eventually target the ranch. He taught Caleb to protect the land no matter the cost. Those lessons now mattered more than ever. Behind closed doors, Patricia blamed the developers for ignoring ranch boundaries, but the developers accused the HOA of misleading them legally. Their partnership began collapsing under enormous financial pressure. Everyone was searching for someone else to blame. Then Caleb's engineers uncovered the HOA's biggest vulnerability. Critical water and utility systems crossed directly through ranch property. Without legal easement access, major neighborhood services faced disruption. The entire HOA suddenly depended on Caleb's cooperation. The county organized a public hearing after tensions escalated further. Residents packed the hall demanding honest answers immediately. Patricia accused Caleb of threatening the entire neighborhood intentionally. But Caleb calmly revealed even more hidden documents. Gas filled the room when the easement maps appeared on screen. Roads, drainage systems, and utilities crossed Caleb's ranch property illegally. Years of careless expansion created a massive legal disaster, and the HOA leadership never saw it coming. Homeowners slowly realized how serious the situation had become. Property values could collapse if the legal fight continued. Families blamed the HOA for ignoring repeated ranch warnings. Trust inside the community began disappearing completely. Caleb's attorneys uncovered additional county filings from decades earlier. The HOA had allegedly bypassed multiple legal approval requirements. Some infrastructure expansions were never fully authorized legally. The evidence against the HOA kept growing rapidly. Inside the clubhouse, board members turned against Patricia completely. Several accused her of ignoring legal warnings for years. Others feared lawsuits from angry homeowners and investors. The once powerful HOA leadership was collapsing publicly. The judge spent hours reviewing ranch easements and property agreements. Every document strengthened Caleb's legal position further. Even the HOA attorney struggled to defend the filings now. The courtroom tension became unbearable. For the first time, Patricia looked genuinely terrified publicly. Residents watched silently as her confidence disappeared completely. Years of aggressive HOA expansion were finally catching up to her, and Caleb still had one final move prepared. After the hearing, fear spread rapidly across the HOA community. Residents realized a legal battle threatened far more than construction projects. Local news stations parked outside.